Chasing that paper! Presented by VegasInsider.com, the Monday edition of the show, representing the New World Order of wrestling, the black and white, and this red and black bullshit. So, yeah, coming off a decent show there on Friday with Iain, we went 4-2 on the NFL, plus a hit on the greasy moneyline parlay. So we're going to be all over this Monday Night Football game tonight. A couple spots for Major League Baseball. We're going to recap a little bit of what we saw yesterday in the NFL. Before I bring Iain in, do me a favor, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button right down there. Hit that up. Now it's time to bring in my guy, the second most provocative man in all of sports betting, senior editor over at Betsided. There he is, Iain MacMillan. His pupils look dilated today. We won't ask him about that. Who knows? Maybe none of our business. He's working from home, right? So what do we say, Iain? How'd you make out yesterday?
I did well yesterday, but most importantly, it is Victory Monday. My Atlanta Falcons, people aren't talking about this, but they should, tied atop the NFC South with a big game against the Buccaneers this weekend. So I'm all the way back in. Falcons are making the playoffs.
Falcons, there we go. Iain, we'll give him an opportunity to dine out on that victory. He's got 6 days to do so, so he better take advantage. Big matchup with the Bucs coming up on Sunday for them. So big matchup tonight. Monday Night Football. We have dueling ATS bets here. Iain and I on opposite sides. So let's stop wasting time. Let's get right into the action. I'm going to be backing the Rams side of the spread bet here tonight, taking them at +1.5. So a big part of this bet, a big part of backing the Rams is fading this 49ers offense. Look at what they've done so far this season. 2 separate times, they scored just 10 points in a game, and you dig into the stats, and it's very ugly. Bottom third of the league in yards per play, third down conversion percentage, and red zone TD conversion percentage. Now they're missing maybe their best player on offense. Trent Williams won't be there on their offensive line. That's really going to hurt them. Jimmy G is going to have to get that ball out a lot quicker. Also hurts their run game versus a Rams team that's been one of the best in the league versus the run. So a lot on Jimmy G's shoulders here tonight. And yeah, San Francisco's got a pretty good defense, but you know, it's probably too early to crown them as great. A real cupcake schedule for them so far. They face the Bears, Seahawks, Broncos. Oh my God. Give me the Rams! +1.5 here. Iain, tell me why you are in disagreement with me on my pick tonight.
Yeah, that's a big fade Joe spot there, my friends. Let's go ahead and take the 49ers instead, -1.5. I got some concerns about the Rams this season, specifically their offensive line. Heading into week 4, they ranked 23rd in QB sack percentage, allowing a sack of 8.11% of Matt Stafford dropbacks, and now they have to take on one of the very best defenses in the entire NFL. The 49ers rank 5th in sack percentage, sacking opposing quarterbacks on 8.99% of their dropbacks. They're also first in opponent yards per play, keeping teams to gaining just 3.9 yards per snap. By the way, side note, Rams defense, not the defense it was last year. They were a top 5 unit last year. They're around middle of the pack in most defensive statistics, which is another worrying area. And then finally, let's have a little bit of faith in Jimmy G. I know he didn't look great last week, but he led the NFL in yards per completion last season. This is a team who, with Jimmy G, almost beat the Rams in the NFC Championship game. So let's pump the brakes on the Jimmy G hate here. I'd like the 49ers to win and cover tonight.
Jimmy G stinks, and this 49ers team is running out of excuses. Kyle Shanahan, talk about overrated. So Iain and I have a bet on this one tonight. So the loser must get the winner's face tattooed directly below their belly button area. So one of us will be getting a tattoo tomorrow afternoon, depending on the result of this game. Okay, so let's take a little trip to Prop City, my favorite prop for this game. A lot of people seem to be on this one. It's like easy money. I'm going to take Matthew Stafford to throw at least one interception. That's coming in at -115. And this guy is an interception throw machine. Look at some of the numbers through 3 games so far this season. He's thrown 5 of them. He averaged 1 per game in 2021's regular season. Of course, he played San Francisco 3 times last season, including the AFC title game. He threw 5 interceptions in those 3 games. To the 49ers' credit, they've been fantastic in coverage. Rated number 1 in coverage by Pro Football Focus. So he's going to be throwing into some tight spots here. So expect either him to make a big mistake or for the 49ers defense to make a nice play on a ball. Give me Stafford to throw an interception. Ian, what's your favorite prop for the game?
Yeah, I was talking about earlier that we should have some faith in Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to take his over on his passing yardage total for tonight. Jimmy Garoppolo, come on, don't let me down, dude. Like I said, let's not overreact to the game last week here. That was a bad one, but don't forget, this guy went through all the training camp and preseason, getting limited reps with the number 1 team because Trey Lance was, of course, the starter. I'd be pretty shocked if he doesn't look significantly better tonight after another week of practice and preparation with the top unit. And let's not forget, this is a guy who averaged 254 passing yards per game last season. I think that's around 30 yards more than what his yardage total is set at for tonight's game. Also, as I mentioned earlier, he did lead the NFL in yards per completion last season as well. Rams ranked 15th in opponent yards per pass attempt this season, allowing 6.6 yards per throw. So their pass defense is pretty average as well. I think Jimmy G's going to have a big game tonight. I'll take over 224.5 passing yards for him against the Rams.
Oh my God. Okay, so a word of caution before you back Ian on all this Jimmy Garoppolo love. Ian's the same guy that went all in on Matt Ryan to win MVP coming into the season. Got to take a shot at my guy there. Okay, from the football field to the Major League Baseball diamond, getting to a bit of a tricky part of the betting calendar with the regular season winding right down. But spot I like quite a bit tonight. Blue Jays versus Orioles. The first 5-inning total sitting in there 4 runs. Boom! I like the over on this one coming in at -105. So Jose Barrios on the mound for the Blue Jays. He's getting absolutely shit-canned on the road this season. He has a 6.75 ERA on the road. Major disappointment. 11 total earned runs allowed over his last 2 starts in absolutely brutal form. And he's allowed 5 or more earned runs 9 separate times this season. The Orioles countering with Dean Kramer. And some misleading numbers for Kramer, a respectable 3.00 ERA in September, but that xFIP during that same span, way up there at 488. Anything above 470 is considered awful. And what do you know? How convenient. Both of these clubs absolutely raking versus right-handed pitching. 2nd and 5th in OPS versus righties over the last 2 weeks. So I like the Blue Jays and Orioles get to at least 5 in the first 5 tonight in Baltimore. Ian, what's your favorite spot tonight in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, I'm looking at a big Dick Mountain prop bet for tonight. Let's take a look at Rich Hill. I'm going to take the under 4.5 for his strikeout total. It's pretty juiced up to -166. I still think there's value on this prop bet, though. He's going to face the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Rays have a 13.9% strikeout percentage against left-handed pitchers since September 1st. That is obviously very good. That is the best in the majors by a wide margin over that span. Also, Hill only has 4 or fewer strikeouts in 4 of his last 6 starts. So he hasn't been great in the strikeout department as of late. One of those starts came against the Rays back on September 1st. He only threw 3 strikeouts in 4 innings. And he's played the Rays already 3 times this season. He went under 4.5 strikeouts in 2 of those 3 starts. He only recorded 1 strikeout against them on April 24th, and then 3 strikeouts in the aforementioned game on September 6th. I will say, I'll admit it, he did maybe throw 11 strikeouts against them on August 27th, but let's go ahead and just pretend that game didn't happen. Let's call that an outlier game. So I'll go under 4.5 strikeouts for Dick Mountain tonight, -166.
Yeah, Rich Hill getting up there in age, potentially making the final start of his career, so there won't be a dry eye in the house tonight.
I didn't factor in the motivation factor, Joe.
It will be a very emotional night at Fenway Park with Rich Hill on there. Okay, so there you have it. 6 total picks from Ian and I. Hopefully we can replicate what we did on Friday and pick up another profitable program here. But if you're looking for a place to place these bets at, I recommend placing them over at BetMGM. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Kick off the pro football season with the king of sportsbooks. Sign up with BetMGM using bonus code VIBONUS, and your first wager is risk-free to $1,000. That's a VI bonus, all one word, no spaces, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Visit betmgm.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 or older. BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Woo! Yeah, baby. Okay, Ian, so let's recap a little bit of what we saw yesterday in the NFL, some of the big stories to come out of the day. So, first and foremost, the Green Bay Packers should be absolutely ashamed of themselves after that performance yesterday. Really? You need overtime at home as a double-digit favorite to beat up on a third-string quarterback, Zappy, going up and down the field on the Packers? That is an absolute and total disgrace, and this team should be worried. Yeah, they'll probably have a good regular season, I guess, like they typically do, but as I've been saying all along, they're going to flop in the playoffs, and this team has some major concerns. They did an awful job at replacing Devontae Adams. That was on full display yesterday, and meanwhile, can we pump the brakes on this defense that Packers fans want to talk about being one of the best in the league? I don't think so. Think what Zappy did to them there yesterday. Zappy and Matt Patricia going up and down the field against you at Lambeau. I don't think so. So, Ian, should the Packers be worried here?
Yeah, I think they should be. I mean, obviously offensively. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is getting mad at his receivers. He yelled and cursed at his offensive line during the broadcast this past game. I mean, I was on the Patriots this week, and for exactly that reason. I don't think the Packers are the explosive offense that we saw from them the past 2 seasons when Aaron Rodgers won MVP. And, Joe, I'm glad you brought up their defense because you're right. 16th in opponent yards per play so far this season. Their defense is really average if you look at them statistically. So, yeah, the Packers, I'm a little bit concerned about them despite them being 3-1 here. I am not rushing to the betting window to bet on them in the coming weeks.
Zappy! Patriots fans can't wait to crown Zappy as the next Tom Brady here. You can see the similarities already. Yep. They're saying up there and down there in Boston. Okay, so a bit of a surprise here, Ian. A team that me and you like to pile on and bully a little bit. We can't really bully them right now. The Dallas Cowboys, 3-1. And their defense is looking pretty damn good through 4 games. They still haven't allowed 20 or more points in a game. And, yeah, the competition hasn't been all that good, but all you can do is play the schedule that's in front of you. So my question to you about the 3-1 Dallas Cowboys is, can they hang with the big boys, or will they just continue to beat up on bad competition?
I think they can hang with the big boys. I think maybe the bigger question is there a quarterback controversy in Dallas, Joe? Cooper Rush has looked fantastic. What is he now, 4-0 as a Cowboys starter? And I was one of the few people saying that he might not be a bad quarterback when he replaced Dak. So, I mean, obviously Dak's going to play. They're paying him too much money. But, yeah, I think this Dallas team, just based on their defense alone, can probably hang with the Top Guns. We'll see as the season goes on. But especially in the wild card race in the NFC not being very strong, they're probably going to be a playoff team.
It's very, very funny predicament that Dallas is in with this potential quarterback controversy. I think you have to play Dak because you're paying him all that money, but they're paying Dak all that money, and they get the decent backup, who probably isn't as good, to be fair, but he's winning, and that's all that matters. Meanwhile, they're playing Ezekiel Elliott all that money, and his backup, Pollard, is better than he is. So, funny predicament that the Cowboys are in. Don't pay these running backs all that money. It's only going to put you in a hole. So, let me ask you about the Jacksonville Jaguars here, Ian. You were pretty high on them coming in to the week. You had them as your upset special. They got off to a great start. Went up 14-0 there in the first quarter. But as that game went on, they got outscored 29-7 after being up 14-0. So what do you think here? Still high on the Jags? They still the class of that division, or give them a bit of a pass, because that was a tricky game yesterday in that weather in Philadelphia.
Yeah, they kind of hung with the Eagles. I'm still kind of like the Jaguars. I don't mind what I saw from them. The only big issue was they turned the ball over 5 times. Like, you can't have 4 fumbles and an interception and expect to hang with these best of the best teams. But even with 5 turnovers, they still only lost by a score, by 8 points, a touchdown on the 2-point conversion. So, even though they lost, I'm actually kind of higher on the Jaguars, even though I picked them to win and they didn't pull through for me. Eagles, obviously a very legitimate team. They kind of proved it. They faced some adversity going down 14-0, came back to win. But, Jaguars, by the way, most sports books, I believe, they are the favorites now to win the AFC South. And I think that's correct, because the Colts and the Titans absolutely stink, and I hate them.
Yeah, Jags, last I checked, a 7-point favorite at home to the Houston Texans. I don't know when the last time that team was favored by 7 points was. Worth looking into. Yeah, and as for the Eagles, they showed us a little bit of something. They went down 14-0 early. They could have folded. Difficult playing conditions there yesterday, but they proved that they are not a bunch of front runners. So Eagles looking like the real deal here early on. Finally, Ian, I got to ask you about your pick to win the Super Bowl. You picked the Indianapolis Colts to win the Super Bowl. How you feeling about that?
Matt Ryan let me down one final time. Yeah, I picked him in Survivor, too. I was looking great in my Survivor pool, and they screwed me over in that, too. Listen, Matt Ryan's fumbling the ball 87 times per game. They outgained the Titans by more than a yard per play. They should have killed him by about 20 points. Matt Ryan stinks. I'm done with him. He is officially washed. He can't hang on to the football. He can't move. He's the most sackable quarterback in the NFL. Jonathan Taylor had a costly fumble. Frank Reich punting when they were on the Titans' 39-yard line, and then later on in the game, at the end of the game, he kicked a field goal. They missed. They didn't make it. They tried to kick a field goal down 7 with 2 minutes left. What is this team doing? Frank Reich needs to be fired now. Release Matt Ryan. Let him retire. Jonathan Taylor stinks too. I hate this Colts team. I hate them.
Yeah, to be completely fair, I heard a lot of people out there in the media world taking Colts overs on their season win totals and picking them to make some noise in the playoffs. But in hindsight, there's not really a whole lot special about this team. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor is fantastic. They have 1 or 2 good players on the defense, but I don't think there's anything really that they excel at or can excel at. Michael Pittman missed that game, and everyone made that a big excuse. Michael Pittman, not even a top 10 receiver in the NFL. Give me a break. Okay, so that's it for our look at Sunday's action in the NFL. If you love what we do here at Vegas Insider, make sure you're checking out the Vegas Insider app. We've got up-to-date, easy-to-navigate odds for every major sport. We have all our latest shows, best bet videos, and podcasts, props, trends, futures, news, all on the Vegas Insider app. Download the Vegas Insider app right now on Apple and Android. Bet better with the Vegas Insider app. Okay, Tito, let's do your magic here. Let's take a look at some viewer picks. Picks from the CTP crew. These guys are dropping winners on us left and right. A couple of losers, too, but Nick's picks not giving us too many losers. Make sure you check out Nick on Twitter if you like betting on Major League Baseball. So he is on the Twins first 5 -115. Bailey Ober is great. All right, we're in disagreement. All right, Bailey Ober might be okay. The Twins have advantages in a bunch of key areas there, first 5 innings. Minnesota is also significantly better first 5 this season than the Chicago Shit Sox. I agree with that. Johnny Cueto is the independent variable. He's been fortunate this season and has finally blown up this month. Go Twins! Yeah, I don't disagree with that pick. I kind of disagree with Bailey Ober being great. But yeah, the Chicago Shit Sox are a complete and total disgrace. Okay, Tito, what's next here? All right, this is a look-ahead spot. Well, not really. A pick for Week 5 here on Sunday. Dolphins -3 versus the Jets. Yeah, I think this is a good spot. I know I'm biased. Breakdown, Teddy should thrive as a game manager in a quick-hitting offense, especially against a soft Jets defense. Not sure this is too steep of a downgrade with Tua likely out now. I don't necessarily agree with the second part of his breakdown here. But yeah, maybe the Jets getting a little bit too much love here based on the fact that they beat up on the absolutely pathetic Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think that's a good number on the Dolphins. What about you, Ian?
Yeah, I already got my bet locked in for that game. I'm actually on the over. Dolphins defense still has a lot of struggles, but their offense has been moving the ball no matter who's at quarterback. And Jets kind of sneaky good. So I actually kind of like the over in that game better than the spread.
Okay, there we have it. And Monday Night Football proper guy. Obi,
no, come on, Obi.
I took a close look at this too, man. Garoppolo looked like dog shit last week. Garoppolo, he likes him throwing interception minus 114. To throw two of them plus 450. Wow. Since 2019, he's thrown at least one interception in 50% or more of the games that he started in. Obi has a breakdown there. Of those 21 INTs, 9 were 2 INTs or more. He had 3 interceptions in 6 games versus LA last season, 2 interceptions each. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm in agreement with Obi on that one. Garoppolo, without his top offensive lineman, protect his blind side. 100% with you, Obi. How we feeling about Garoppolo throwing a pick? Those are decent odds, Ian.
No, Garoppolo's going to have the game of his life tonight. 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
When he is bad, he is really bad. And I'll say it again that a lot of people had a very short memory with Jimmy Garoppolo. You know, he does tend to be protected by that system, by that offense. And that run game, he's going up against a good run defense. 49ers fans couldn't wait to drive this guy to the airport last season and multiple other times through multiple other seasons. This guy makes awful, awful mistakes, and they will be lining up to drive him to the airport here tonight after this game versus the Rams here, Ian. So, Ian, it is now time for our Handicapper Heat Check presented by VegasInsider.com, your home for the best expert picks in the business since 1997. Today, we recognize MLB and MLB expert Scott Pritchard. Scott nailed 6 straight NFL winners and is 8-2. His last 10 MLB picks saved $10 on any of Scott's Monday pick packages by visiting the link in the description below. The $10 discount will be applied during checkout. That's your Handicapper Heat Check. Stay hot, betters. Woo! Woo! Yeah, so there we have it, Ian. In and out, 21 minutes. So obviously a lot coming up from you and the crew over at Betsided. So what can Chasing That Paper viewers look forward to from you this week?
Yeah, we're going live for daily bet slip today to dive into Monday Night Football a little bit deeper. Maybe I'll give my love for Jimmy Garoppolo a little bit more. Special guest Aaron Hawksworth on today's episode, 5 p.m. Eastern. Peter Dewey will join me in the second half of the show to give it our best bets for tonight as well. And then Bacon Bets podcast hopefully will be out tomorrow. I've locked in most of my bets already for week 5 of the NFL, so look forward to that.
Having a lot coming up here at Vegas Insider as well. Of course, our Twitter Spaces going off around an hour before kickoff tonight of the Monday Night Football game. So make sure you're following Vegas Insider on Twitter and listen in to some, hopefully, some last-second locks. And, of course, Down to the Wire with Kevin Rogers going down tonight right here on the Vegas Insider YouTube channel, 6 Eastern for that. So there you have it. Ian will be back with me on Thursday to break down a Thursday night football game, of course. And we're going to talk. It's going to be baseball playoff time. And too, Ian, it's about time. The baseball regular season, too goddamn long. I'm going to be flying solo. Blue Jays, indeed. 100%. Hopefully they can get that home field advantage. Yeah, I'm going to be back tomorrow flying solo, breaking down a bunch of pitcher props. Hopefully a couple good walk props, of course. We've been hitting on them. So that's it. Good luck with your bets tonight, unless you are fading us. And as always, keep chasing that paper.